if a regular car needs a full tank just to drive across 3 states? How did a spacecraft travel 250,000 miles to the moon, orbit it, land on it, blast back off and return to Earth, all on one single tank of fuel that lasted 4 days? And here's what's wilder. That same mission had astronauts walking around on the moon in suits, in temperatures that swing from 250 degrees above zero to 280 degrees below zero, with no air, no shade, and no shelter. But wait, the camera footage they brought back, crystal clear. No glitches, no static, no corruption. Almost like it was filmed somewhere with perfect conditions. Somebody explain that to me, because I'm listening. Here's what NASA officially told the world. Apollo 11 launched in 1969. 3 men went up, 2 walked on the moon. 1 stayed in orbit. They planted a flag, grabbed some rocks, took some photos, and came back home safe. Simple, right? Except nothing about it is simple. But, you know, when you start digging into the details, things get a bit weird. There are technical anomalies that just don't add up. Stuff like radio signals that shouldn't have reached that far, or shadows that don't line up quite right in the photos. And honestly, the more you look, the more questions you find. It's enough to make you wonder if there's more to the story than what we've been told. Let's talk about the fuel situation first. The lunar module, that's the little spider-looking thing that actually landed on the moon, ran on a descent engine and an ascent engine, 2 separate systems. And the math that engineers use today says those engines were running on the absolute edge of what was physically possible. Astronauts reported the fuel gauge was almost empty when they touched down. Buzz Aldrin himself said they had maybe 30 seconds of fuel left before they would have had to abort. 30 seconds on their first ever attempt. On a mission the entire world was watching, with technology less powerful than the phone in your pocket right now. Does that sound like the most prepared space agency in human history, or does it sound like something else? Now let's talk about the Van Allen belts. These are massive radiation zones that wrap around Earth like a force field. Scientists today, not conspiracy people, actual working scientists, say that passing through those belts without serious radiation shielding would expose a human being to lethal levels of radiation. So, here's the thing. There's this big question about how the Apollo astronauts were protected from all that radiation out there. Folks have wondered for years just how did they manage it. It's a bit of a mystery, really. The Apollo capsule walls were thin aluminum. Not thick, not reinforced, just aluminum. The kind of material you wrap leftovers in, honestly. And NASA says the astronauts passed through those belts not once, but twice, both going and coming back. The astronauts came home looking completely fine. No radiation sickness, no hair loss, no long-term health effects documented from the belt exposure at all. Modern space agencies today, including NASA itself, publicly state that getting humans safely through the Van Allen belts remains one of the biggest unsolved challenges of deep space travel. Read that again. Unsolved. In 2024. But they solved it in 1969 with aluminum walls and a tight schedule. The original moon landing tapes, you know, the raw footage from the actual broadcast, were recorded over by NASA, accidentally, the most historic moment in human history. And somebody hit record on top of it. Files gone. Just like that. Question everything. Around the world, there's a kind of hush when it comes to the moon landings. Nobody's shouting from the rooftops about what really happened, and, well, that silence speaks volumes. Sometimes what isn't said is louder than anything else. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Countries with fully independent space programs, China, Russia, India, have never once sent a human past low Earth orbit. Russia, who had every reason to call out a fake moon landing during the Cold War, stayed quiet. Why would your biggest enemy stay silent if you faked the greatest achievement in history? That question should sit with you for a while. If your brain is doing backflips right now, good. That means it's working. Drop a comment below with just one word that describes how you're feeling right now. Just one word.